Magandang araw. Ako ay si Dr. Thea de Guzman, isang field epidemiologist at kasalukuyang direktor ng Epidemiology Bureau. Ang aking ipepresent ay isang lecture on public health surveillance at mga national disease surveillance system in the Philippines. For this lecture, we have the following learning objectives: to define public health surveillance, to identify uses of public health surveillance, and to identify the key elements of a functional disease surveillance system. To define the framework of surveillance and types of public health surveillance, and determine characteristics of a well-conducted surveillance. And lastly, to orient on current surveillance systems in the Epidemiology Bureau. Nais kong panimulan sa pagbabahagi ng istorya ni Jon Snow at ang nagaganap na cholera outbreak sa London, England. In this picture, the artist is describing this water pump as death's dispensary. Ibig sabihin, ang mga pump na ito na pinagkukuhanan ng tubig na nagiging tagapamigay ng sakit at nagiging dahilan ng pagkamatay. Bakit? Noong 1800s, ang estado ng water at sanitation ay higit na mababa sa ngayon. Walang mga water system at ang mga tanging water source ay mga pump well at mga iba't ibang klase ng body of water. Wala rin mga septic tank, sanitary toilet at sewage system. Ibig sabihin, ang mga dumi mula sa mga bahay at mga kubeta ay diretso sa mga sewage pits na nakikita sa slide na ito. Ang mga sewage pits din ay malapit lamang sa mga pumps na pinagkukuhanan ng tubig. Dahil dito, maraming naganap na cholera outbreak. Ang cholera ay isang sakit na nagdudulot ng malalang pagtatae at pwedeng pumantot sa pagkamatay dahil sa dehydration. Noong mga panahon na yon, isinisisi nila sa miasma o masamang hangin ang mga nakakahawang sakit. Ang mga naging intervention nila sa cholera ay mga abiso na siguraduhin hindi malamigan sa pagtulog, ang maghinay-hinay sa pagkain at pag-inom, at pag-avoid ng pag-inom ng malamig na tubig. Kaya naman, hindi tumigil ang cholera outbreaks at lumobo pa ang dami ng nagkakasakit at namamatay dahil sa cholera. Ito ang dahilan kaya ninais ng isang doktor na intindihin ang nagaganap na cholera outbreak. Siya ay si Jon Snow. Ang ginawa niya ay ang pag-iikot sa mga bahay at pagtatala kung sino ang nagkasakit at di nagkasakit at sino ang mga namatay. Isa-isa niya itong itinala sa isang mapa na makikita natin sa slide na to kung saan ang bawat bar ay isang taong nagkasakit. Ano ang naobserbahan niya? Una, ang mga lugar na may pinakamaraming pagkakasakit ay yung pinakamalapit sa Broad Street Pump. Kahit mga nagkakasakit din sa ibang lugar, labis na mas kaunti habang mas papalayo sila sa Broad Street Pump. Nakita rin nila na may mga taong nagkakasakit kahit na malayo ang tirahan nila kasi sila ay kumukuha ng tubig sa Broad Street Pump dahil nga masarap daw ang tubig mula rito. Base rito, nag-conclude si Jon Snow na hindi masamang hangin ang sanhi ng cholera kundi ang pag-inom ng tubig mula sa pump na ito. Sa pamamagitan ng trabaho ni Jon Snow, tayo ay nagkaroon ng isang systematic na pamamaraan upang mag-imbestiga at alamin ano ang dahilan ng pagkakasakit. Ito ay nagsisimula sa pag-a-identify kung ano ang posibleng rason bakit nagkaroon ng sakit. Ang pagtetest ng hypothesis na yon at pagkakalap ng datos upang makapag-provide ng evidence. At pinakahuli ay yung pagbibigay ng recommendations base sa na-generate nating information. Ang nauna kong na-describe ay ang surveillance cycle natin. Ang public health surveillance ay defined during the World Health Assembly as the systematic collection and use of epidemiologic information for the planning, implementation, and assessment of disease control. It involves the collection, validation, analysis, and dissemination of data. Ano-ano ba ang ginagawa sa public health surveillance? Una, paghahanap ng mga kaso at close contacts para sa agarang paggagamot at implementation ng public health measures. Naghanap ng mga epidemic or outbreak at health events of public significance at pag-aalam ng health behaviors. Mag-estimate ng dami at lawak ng mga sakit at iba pang health problems. mag-monitor ng trends or pattern ng pagkakasakit at mag-profile ng mga nakakasakit. Mag-monitor din ng pagbabago sa mga etiologic and environmental changes, which includes mutations sa mga pathogens. I-assess if effective ang ating mga disease prevention and control programs at mag-develop ng bagong hypothesis upang maging panimula ng pag-conduct ng mga research. Tandaan natin ang goal ng public health surveillance ay ang pag-provide ng information that can be used for health action by the public health staff, government officials, at mga publiko at komunidad upang mag-guide ang ating mga polisiya at programs. Kaya naman, napakahalaga para maging functional or naaabot ng ating disease surveillance system ang nabanggit na goals ang mga sumusunod. Klaro ang objective ng system. Kumukuha ng pinakamahalagang datos na magagamit for appropriate action. Alam ano ang target population na kasama sa surveillance system. May listahan ng mga pagmumula ng datos kasama ang mga survey at research na na-conduct. Pagkakaroon ng malinaw na proseso kung paano mag-share at mag-report ng information at isang feedback mechanism. At regular na pag-monitor ng usefulness and quality ng surveillance data upang malaman paano ito mai-improve pa. Maraming klase ng surveillance system na pwedeng i-implement. Passive surveillance is when we await reports from our disease reporting units, such as the epidemiology and surveillance units, local government units, and hospitals. Active surveillance is when we purposefully look for cases and done either when cases are increasing and we want to determine the extent of the disease, or when cases are on a downtrend and we want to ensure that we are not missing out on the detection of new cases. Syndromic surveillance is when we are looking for a syndrome or a group of signs and symptoms. An example of this is our acute flaccid paralysis surveillance, where we look for cases presenting with acute onset floppy paralysis as a proxy for the detection of polio. Lastly is sentinel surveillance. There are select or sentinel sites chosen from which we collect data used in generating case profiles and trends. These sites are to be monitored for compliance to ensure regular reporting. The COVID-19 surveillance, as an example, is in its pilot implementation of a sentinel surveillance system. Having heard of what public health surveillance is, let me go on to describe the Philippines' national surveillance systems. The Epidemiology Bureau mandate is to provide and promote the use of epidemiologic information for evidence-based decision-making through our surveillance and information systems and by strengthening epidemiology and surveillance capacities across all levels of health. We implement event-based and case-based surveillance. Event-based surveillance is called rumor surveillance, where offices, communities, and the public can report rumors of significant public health events so that we can identify and respond earlier to these. An example will be a report of a clustering of COVID-19 cases or rumors of increasing diarrhea cases in a barangay after a fiesta. Case-based surveillance, on the other hand, requires the submission of case line lists from official disease reporting units so that we can profile our cases. These two surveillance systems must complement each other. How? It is possible that through event-based surveillance, we were informed of a clustering of COVID-19 cases in a workplace. This will lead to an investigation of said clustering and implementation of control measures. But the disease reporting unit must subsequently submit the line list containing the data of these COVID-19 cases through the case-based surveillance system. In this framework, we show how these two surveillance systems should work together to detect signals that will initiate response. The Philippine Integrated Disease Surveillance and Response, or PIDSAR, was an integrated approach for strengthening the Philippine epidemiologic surveillance and response system established in 2007 and following the 2005 International Health Regulations call for a stronger system on epidemiologic surveillance and response. Under PITSAR was the epidemic-prone disease case-based surveillance and the event-based surveillance and response. This slide lists the diseases and syndromes included in PITSAR and categorized into vaccine preventable, food and waterborne, zoonotic, vector-borne, and other diseases. We also have a COVID-19 surveillance and quick action unit which conduct COVID-19 surveillance and the adverse event following immunization surveillance for COVID-19 vaccines. And lastly is the National HIV STI Surveillance Unit, which conducts surveillance for STIs and HIV in social hygiene clinics, laboratory facilities and blood banks, and HIV treatment hubs, and also conduct the Integrated HIV Behavioral and Serologic Survey, or the IHBSS. To ensure that the Epidemiology Bureau and our epidemiology and surveillance units, or ESUS, have a well-conducted surveillance, we follow these principles. Una, bilangin lamang ang lahat ng may sakit. Huwag isama sa bilang ang mga walang sakit. Tuwing simple, mura, at madaling gamitin ang mga systems, magkaroon ng mga case investigation and reporting forms na madaling maintindihan at i-fill up, timely ang pag-submit ng forms sa mga RESU at Epidemiology Bureau, at magbigay ng napapanahon at mahalagang information na gagamitin upang maging tama at epektibo ang mga aksyon. We also learned during this COVID-19 pandemic to better communicate to our decision makers and the public while putting value to quality data that is accurate, complete, and timely. We noted that surveillance was living data that will not approach the perceived perfection of research data, and that our data quality was heavily reliant on the primary data collectors, which were our local government units and health facilities. And that given the urgent need for relevant data for action, we had to balance the desire for completeness with timeliness. In summary, during this lecture, we were able to provide the following points. Surveillance is the collection, processing, analysis, and dissemination of data. It intends to generate strategic information for action through detection of signals using multi-source surveillance systems that complement each other. To ensure that we provide relevant and timely signals, we need to balance ensuring acceptable levels of completeness with timeliness and validity. We also need to regularly assess if our surveillance systems continues to meet the changing data needs of our clients and stakeholders. With this, sana tayo ay may nadagdag na impormasyon at karunungan tungkol sa public health surveillance. Isang magandang araw sa lahat.